Hi and hello everyone, it's your old pal Berg787 back with a brand new Let's Play series, and yes, we are going to be playing the Grand Theogenist himself, Volkmar, Pimp Daddy, Volkmar the Grim of Reikland. Volkmar is someone who I like. I think he's pretty awesome. He gets a bit of a bum rap because he's not Karl Franz, and yes, okay, fair enough. I get the benefits of Karl Franz, and yes, he is better than Volkmar, but Volkmar's really fun. And I like the buffs that he gets. You can play quite a strong melee infantry-focused army with Volkmar and kick some ass. So let's talk a little bit about Volkmar. So his faction effects, magic item drop plus 20%, which is pretty good. Means you're more likely to get some really cool bits of armor, weapons, talismans, all that kind of stuff, which obviously helps your characters massively. He also gets plus 30% weapon strength for flagellant units, which is really good since he specialises in them. He also gets a 30% upkeep reduction for flagellants as well, which is also synergises quite well. He also gets hero recruit rank plus 2 for warrior priests. Now, he has other ways to buff warrior priest recruit ranks, and just in technologies and buildings, so you can get warrior priests at quite a high level straight off the bat. From about the midway point of the campaign. And warrior priests are really good. We're going to be running, I would say, at least 2 in Volkmar's army, but every army is going to have at least 1, so the more the merrier. They're really cool units. I really like warrior priests, and especially in a melee infantry focused army, they are worth their weight in gold with all the buffs that they can provide. His lord effects in general, he replenishment rate plus 30% he gets for flagellant units, which is good. You also obviously want your melee infantry to replenish because they will be taking damage when they are fighting. He gives flagellants plus 14 melee defense, which is really good because flagellants don't really have very good melee defense off the bat. As you can see, for regular ones they start off at 12 melee defense, and even this Regiment of Renown, there's nothing much to talk about in terms of 17 melee defense. But through that plus 14 it makes them very good, plus other buffs that you can get through technologies and his red line skill tree as well. Makes flagellants in the end have some pretty good melee defense. He also gives them plus 12% at physical resistance, so if you haven't guessed, flagellants, and we will be running them. He starts off with 3 additional starting units. Obviously this Regiment of Renown, the Tattersouls, who are pretty snazzy. They do have, do normal ones have that? Yeah, they both have that. Okay, so strength of Penitent, which is cool. But anyway, sorry, I just got distracted. So he gets basically 2 units of flagellants, and he starts with these Knights of the Blazing Sun, which are quite a nice cavalry, decent charge bonus, so they have fire damage. Yeah, we won't be keeping these forever. We will get rid of them at some stage, but certainly for the early part of the game we will be having them. The campaign difficulty legendary, battle difficulty very hard, as per my recent campaign, well, just in general, and we will be playing with the Chaos Invasion off, as we have done for the last couple of campaigns. I don't think there's anything else to say, so let's get the show on the road.
The greenskins scurry back to their dirt holes, Grand Theogenist. However, it remains a time of crisis for the Empire. Secessionists hostile to the election of Emperor Karl Franz are trying to form a breakaway province to the south. The Empire must be united and stabilized if you are to pursue the ideals of Sigmar and purge chaos from the world. To the north, Boris Todbringer of Middenheim, a bitter rival of the recent election, plots openly against the Emperor. Be warned that, should diplomacy fail, war with Todbringer will be unavoidable. Be sure to build your forces.
Amazing. Okay, how they play Reikland. If you've never played the Empire, if you've never played Reikland before, what are you doing? I mean, they're amazingly fun to play. Go and play them, but if you don't know, this is what goes on, how they play Imperial authority and prestige. The Empire is known for its elector counts, can be summoned. No, they can't. And internal politics that leave it in a permanent state of unrest and constant war. However, increasing your prestige and ultimately your imperial authority will bring stability. Acquire prestige through noble actions such as expansion, victory in battle, and constructing grand buildings, then use it to deal with incidents and solve dilemmas from which your authority will grow, improving fealty among the elector counts. Additionally, prestige can also be spent on electoral machinations, which enable you to manipulate diplomatic relationships within the empire. That's sort of like the way the intrigue, or whatever it's called, the mechanic that the High Elves have, where you can spend it to improve relations between you and or make your relations worse, if you wish to, with a certain race or faction, but except in prestige you can only do it within the empire. You can't do it on like Bretonia, whereas I think with the High Elf version you can do it to literally anyone. So yeah, you can use prestige for that. We won't be doing too much of that though. Generally speaking, prestige is something that I like to bank. I don't like to spend it, at least until I've got 2,000 in the bank, because there are events and dilemmas where bad things can happen if you don't have the prestige to spend. So I like to have a bit of a stockpile of it when possible. And Imperial Authority is this. At the moment we start off on 0, which is stagnant, which means we lose 5 growth, minus 5 growth per all provinces. It can get worse. Obviously, these are the levels that it goes down to, and if it hits minus 10, then all the elector counts declare war on you, which is something that we definitely don't want to have. There's only one form of goodness, if that makes sense. Like, that's the only positive version that you can get if you're +1, so 1 or above. The elector counts fealty increase chances of 5% each turn. So as you can see here, for example, Middenland, they are 3 out of 10 in terms of their fealty, but if you have this at 1 or above, a 5% chance every turn of that increasing. We also get growth and tax rate. Generally speaking, with Imperial Authority as well, you kind of want to stockpile it if you can. You do lose Imperial Authority if, for example, a elector count is destroyed either by yourself or by someone else. Let's say the vampire counts destroy Stirland. That reduces your Imperial Authority. You can return seats to bring back destroyed elector counts if you wish, but it's not. Well, depends. We'll see how things play out. But generally speaking, prestige, I want to have 2,000 at least in the bank before I start spending it, unless I have to. And Imperial Authority, you want to kind of stockpile this as well, because when you confederate someone, you lose instantly 3 Imperial Authority. So you do want to have a bit of that in the bank. And we do want to do some confederations, because we would like to get Balthazar Gelt at some stage, and you have to confederate anyone, doesn't matter who it is, to get Karl Franz unlocked. The elector counts themselves. Each state of the empire is governed by an elector count. Securing their fealty is key to unifying the empire through confederation. Some, though, will not be easily convinced and will require much persuasion through aid or military force. Once a state's capital is under your control, you may keep the residing elector count or elect a new one. Each provides a host of new benefits, such as granting a specific Runefang sword and unique units. So if we go to, just come out of that for a second, if we go to the elector counts, we can see we currently, well, Karl Franz is the elector count of Reikland. We can't actually change him out, but that's fine, even though we don't have him. Because that's the case, we do have this buff enacted, so local region for enemy winds of magic is minus 15. If he was on the map, that doesn't actually count. We do get a 10% research rate increase, though, which is good, and would get these buffs if he was on the army, if he was on the map. We do get the Dragon Tooth, which is currently equipped by Karl Franz, but I will unequip it from him and give it to Volkmar, because it's a very cool weapon that gives plus public order, melee attack, weapon strength, enables magical attacks, and more income from post-battle loot, as well as it lets you do the Reikland Runefang, which lasts for 39 seconds, affects 40 meters from Volkmar the Grim, and gives 24 melee attack and plus 8 leadership to all units in that radius, which is really nice. If we were to, let's say, conquer Wissenland, let's just say for argument's sake, we could then appoint Volkmar. We could kick this guy out, put Volkmar in there, and then Volkmar would get these buffs, for example, to his army. And we would also unlock the Bloodbringer, and we would be able to use the Emperor's Wrath steam tank as well. But anyway, we'll talk more about that once we come across that type of stuff. Our plan for the early part of the game, anyway, is obviously to unite the province of Reikland to deal with the Empire secessionists. which we will try and do as swiftly and as quickly as possible. Our main hindrance to this is going to be the Skull Smashers, or whatever they're called. Is that their name? I always forget what they're called. Something like that. Yeah, the Skull Smashers, who are located here, but they don't usually stay located there for too long. Usually Corone smashes them up, and good, because that's really annoying if they're there, because then they just snipe Isleheart all the time. And over here as well. They will be sending armies after us. It's unlikely someone will destroy them, but they could do, which would be really nice. But we'll have to just be on guard. They usually like to come through Helmgar and Ubersreich, so we want to sort of not venture forth from this position too much once we've reunited the province, until we're sort of up at tier 3 everywhere, have walls, and can feel relatively safe in moving around. Let's go and do some diplomacy first off the bat. No real point speaking to any of the other elect accounts, because they all basically not big fans of you for the most part, and even if they don't mind you,
greetings, my countrymen,
they generally don't accept your offers. Apart from the Golden Order, Gelt is normally pretty decent about things.
You will not tax my time overly. All right.
So I get a non-aggression pact with him.
By the light of
Corone
in the east today,
will take a trade agreement, just not yet.
unwise.
And the other person you can usually get something out of is Kislev.
You will drink with us. Then we...
Although, no. RNG has screwed us a bit here. They distrust the Empire. That's not always the case, so we're not going to be getting any trade agreements with them, so never mind. It wasn't worth a lot anyway in the early part of the game, and by the time it would be worth something, they've usually been destroyed anyway, so there we go. Let's upgrade Altdorf. We will not be destroying the barracks here, because if I do, I can't recruit Free Company Militia, and I do like to use Free Company Militia in the early part of the game. They're really, really good, really strong.
Sigma, grant me strength.
Let's go to Volkmar. As we mentioned before, we're going to take the Dragon Tooth from Karl Franz, equip it to Volkmar. Obviously, he won't have it for the first fight that we have, but never mind. Let's have a little look at Volkmar before we continue. So here's his skill tree. He has 2 unique items. The Jade Griffin, which is quite a nice item. Gives 5+ melee defense, 20% ward save, Untainted +5 for local province, and Warrior Priests in all provinces get a +5 recruit rank as well, which is quite nice, as well as a constant regeneration of 8 hit points per second. Pretty cool. He also has the Staff of Command, which increases his leadership aura size, his leadership that is provided in that aura size, +3 public order to all provinces, as well as +6 melee attack, +12% weapon strength. Also enables, oh no, it doesn't also enable magical attacks. He's already got magical attacks anyway, but there you go. If we were to give this to someone else, I suppose it would give them magical attacks. And more income post-battle loot by 10%. And there's 3 mounts that you can put him on: a warhorse, a barded warhorse, or the war altar of Sigmar. I personally prefer, as you might have noticed in recent playthroughs, unless there's some real specific reason for it, I prefer to have my lords and heroes on foot. You do, I can't remember for which one of these, because obviously you get quest chains, right? For one of these 2, I can't remember which one it is, you do require the war altar of Sigmar to be unlocked. You just need to mount him on it. You can take it off afterwards, but you do require to unlock it, so we will unlock it at some stage. It's alright, it makes him unbreakable, gets him to cause fear and terror, and it also gives him, I believe, a bound spell of banishment, or something to that effect, which you can use twice per battle. Just prefer him on foot. I just really prefer foot lords. I think they're a bit more tankier on foot. It's better, it just makes him a bigger target, can't hit as much, slows him down. Well, I say slows him down, he's actually quicker, but he gets stuck easier on the war altar, so there we go. What else you got? Brasslund. Yeah, we know what that does. Hold the line is something I definitely will be taking, because it's constant. You don't have to activate anything, and everyone, including himself, will be getting a +5 melee defense for those who are within 40 meters of him, and +5 for leadership. Not quite as important, because we're going to be using a lot of flagellants, but hey ho, good stuff. Sigmar's ward, the standard 10% missile resistance. Let's look at his specific skills. He gets the Grand Hammer of Sigmar. All of these are basically things that regular warrior priests can get, but he gets like a super version of them. So it's +24 melee attack to everyone within 40 meters. He gets +22 damage resistance to everyone within 40 meters. Obviously, you activate these spells. Oh, spells. They're not really spells, are they? They're Well, I suppose they are. They are called bound spells, but you don't think of them as bound spells, really. They're just buffs. And the Grand Soulfire, which does some magical damage to people around him. You can also use this Second Nature, which reduces the cooldown for all these by 50%, which is quite nice. He has 3 specific buffs designed for flagellants. The first one is Blessed Holy War, which gives plus 12% weapon strength and 12% speed to flagellants, which is nice. The War Eternal gives them a 30% charge bonus. I wish that was just a flat 30, not 30%, but hey ho, what can you do? And the Work of God, which gives a plus 50% missile resistance bonus to flagellants, which is really, really, really strong. I mean, any unit that doesn't have armour or shields could really do with some missile resistance buffing, so there we go. Nothing particularly interesting in terms of his personal the yellow line skill, so to speak, to increase his abilities. Face Bastion is something that we will look to get, which gives him basically 22% damage resistance. It's kind of like this, except it doesn't work on it just gives it to him himself. Benediction is not really something that we care too much about, because again, by the time we can get this, we're going to have pretty much a mostly flagellant army, and they're unbreakable anyway, so the extra leadership isn't super important. And there's just too many other good things to spend points on, to waste on there. We will be getting 3 in Emperor's Finest when we can, which will give our flagellants plus 8 melee defense and plus 8 melee attack, which is really nice. And obviously we will be getting Strength of Hardship as well, which will give them an extra 5 melee defense and some more magical resistance. We'll also be looking to get Stand Your Ground, which is a really good buff as well. But first off, we're going to be focusing on trying to get to Lightning Strike. So we're going to go Route Marcher, probably 1 point in recruitment cost reduction, and then 3 in Fervent, then the Heretic Hunter, which increases the capacity for Warrior Priests and gives them 5 extra ranks on recruitment, and a bit of Untainted as well, and then we grab Lightning Strike. The rest of this stuff, probably not going to grab, because it's just a lot of things that we need to get. Well, we might do, but it won't be until much later in the game. And you really don't need a second army for a long time, so Quartermaster isn't quite as important, I don't think. But anyway, that's the early plan. Get to Lightning Strike, and then start buffing up other units. In terms of technologies, personally, I think it's Tithe Rebates first. Gives a bit of growth, a bit of public order. And then we'll focus on buffing up our infantry. And then after that, we'll see where we go. We do need to get to Clergy of Sigmar at some stage, because that is also a requirement for one of the quests to get one of his 2 unique items. I can't again remember which one it is, but we will have that in the back of our minds to try and get there. But again, this, and then we'll see where we are at. I'm definitely going to try and limit the amount of artillery I have in this army, and generally speaking in armies. I kind of do want to be more melee focused. Obviously, if we confederate Gelt, that might be the exception. Gelt will be a bit more artillery focused, but for Volkmar, I mean, I probably only have 1 piece of artillery, and that's solely so that I have siege attacker, so that I can just steam in and hit a settlement that has walls and not have to wait a turn. And that's the only reason. Other than that, I think we're pretty much good to start moving forward. So here's our first fight. Helmut Ludenhof.
Cleanse the filth.
We're going to cleanse this filth. How dare they try and secede from the Empire? We'll bring them righteous fury. They must be heretics, that's all I can think of. That's the only reason why anyone would want to secede from my empire. Okay, so they're up on this hill in this forest. What we are going to do... is march our way around. You know what, actually? We'll come over here.
Offering battle prayers. High priest.
So we're going to come around that way. No need to run, you can walk. We'll speed things up momentarily, but let's take a little look at our troops. We zoom in. Here are our snazzy little crossbowmen. Look at them. Some nice mutton chops on that guy. Nice beard. I'm not sure about you, no beard for you, but hey ho, if you can't grow a beard, don't worry about it. Here are Knights of the Blazing Sun. They really do look cool, don't they? They really look badasses with those flaming lances and their gold get-up that they've got on their armour. Just looks super cool. Really, really cool looking unit. As for our other chappies over here, there's the bad man himself leading the army from the front with his flaming hammer and staff. Here's our flagellants. I think these guys on the right, or I suppose would be on the left if we swivel the camera around, they are the Tattersalls. These are the regular flagellants. Here are our spearmen. And here are our swordmen. Nice. Alright. Let's speed things up. So we're going to nicely walk up around here and then come back down on these guys. In the meantime, we will harass them with these two units. Now, I'm just going to run in on them a little bit just to sort of scare them. Let's slow things down a bit.
Our steeds are restless. To battle. The Empire endures.
Don't mind too much if our horses get shot. It's alright.
Sigma calls. Cavalry ready. Go. Yes, sir, quickly. Take the ground. Formation march!
I just need to be a little bit careful not to get caught in the forest there. Interesting that he's just decided to march at us.
To battle! General!
I'm a little bit perturbed by that, but don't worry, we can probably catch their general out in the open with our knights. I don't know where he's going, actually, now looking at him.
Ready to serve! For the Emperor!
Yeah, where the hell is he going?
Bellingrade!
I might get a cheeky little charge in here.
Moving now!
Blammo, pull out.
Taking position! Charge! Bind that chain!
Alright, you guys can probably start to run. We're not going to be fighting at the top of that hill anymore. But, you know what? Saying that, it's not too bad because we've split their army up.
Yes, sir!
Right, he just got literally bounced into.
Tattersalls! We serve the Emperor for the twin-tailed comet! Faith is my shield! Holden hammer! Armed and ready!
Right, pull out, lads.
We serve France! Missiles at the ready! A battle! Our orders? Battle A! We're ready! Quick march! Flatulence!
Let's fall down on them. Right, actually hit these guys.
To battle! Emperor's might! Formation march! Quick march! Crossbowmen! We are Sigma's heirs! Spearmen!
Get around the back with the spearmen.
Tenders out! To battle! Soldiers of the Empire!
Everything's going pretty well there.
We await your orders!
Lost 10 of these.
My God!
It's fine, they're out in the open now.
Sigma!
These guys are going to have a bad time. These swordsmen are gradually being whittled down.
Behold the light of Sigma! The ground quakes!
Just need to keep an eye on that.
Flagellants!
Alright, into the back over here.
For Holden hammer! Yes, sir, quickly! The Tattersalls!
Alright, chase these guys down.
Charge! Ready for war. Ready for battle.
Alright, they've almost broken.
Our steeds are restless.
Let's go give Helmut a quick charge. Bam! Send him flying. And that's pretty much that.
Sir! Go! War! Swordsman! Sigmar calls!
Alright, these flagellants should be quick enough to run down all those spearmen.
Attack us all!
Keep doing that. Just finish these guys off and then we'll come back round to chase them down. These guys might escape. They're dead. These guys are dead. I suppose fire at the Lord. Do as much more damage as you can. Let's see if we can get you guys. No, you're not going to catch them. They finish those. Alright, that's pretty good. Decisive victory. Flagellant's definitely doing work, although I suppose a fair bit of that was after the fight, catching these guys, chasing down routed units, but still. Kill's a kill. We'll take the replenishment for now.
The wicked flee before me.
Now, if I was Karl Franz instead of Volkmar, I could follow up here because I'd have that 10%. Franz's campaign, faction buff rather, is 10% movement for all characters. So, yeah, but then I wouldn't have loads of flagellants. So, fuck Franz. That's fine. We're just going to pop back here. We're going to grab Root Marcher, and then we're going to grab three Free Company Militia. I love Free Company Militia. They're so cool in the early game. And as we mentioned before, we're going to go tie every bits. And I think that's it. So just under 30 minutes for turn 1. Pretty good. Not a massive surprise. Right, just zooming out. We are going to, once we've got this under a semblance of control where we feel comfortable enough to leave Reikland, the province, we are going to want to go on a bit of a holy crusade and exterminate these vampires, because I mean, there's a lot of RNG that can happen. Sometimes they can be stronger than others, sometimes they can get wiped out, but if you don't go and stamp them out early and they don't get wiped out by someone else, they can get especially Sylvania as opposed to the Von Carsteins, they can get quite strong. So certainly something that we want to nip in the bud as early as possible, but it's going to be a little while before we get over there because so we have to deal with this first. Okay, off to Grundberg. Just auto-resolve this, no reason to manually fight that one. Although maybe there was, considering how much my swordsman got hurt there. Nice, got one Imperial authority, it's pretty
Your
good.
burgeoning realm.
We are going to want to do this battle fairly early, because we do get a battle wizard. Fingers crossed that it's a bright wizard, but if it's not, we can still use them on the map as a scout and whatnot, and to steal technology and do other stuff. And we get this really lame sword of striking, and some prestige. We will, as I said, we will go around and doing it, but just we've got other matters first to attend to.
By the Heldenhammer.
We will hit Leader of Renown here. We'll grab a couple more of you boys. Grundberg can stay how it is, that's all fine. And we will end turn. Oh man, Sylvania declaring wars like there's no tomorrow.
The instrument of Sigmar's will.
We'll wander up this way.
I'll ignore that. Volkmar the
I'm going
Grim.
to grab one more swordsman, just to give me a little bit more of a line. There's going to be quite a bit of infantry over here. And so that I've got an even amount of Free Company Militia. 8. Nothing else to do, so end turn.
Orcs come before me.
Nope. Okay, and then just did an explosion over there. That's good. That means the Skull Smashers are no longer living over there. Happy about that. Yep.
Sigmar grant me strength.
Let's go and fight it. You could auto-resolve it, but why auto-resolve when we can fight it? Plus we get to use some snazzy ambushy tactics with the Free Company Militia, using their Vanguard deployment to maximum effect. So these guys are going to be setting up roughly over there somewhere, so what we will do is plop our 4 of our guys on this side, another 4 on this side, and then we will bring them in. As for the bulky part of our army,
Twin-tailed comet! Spearmen!
stick you guys there. Put you in with them.
Grand Theogenist!
You can hang out behind. Put you on guard.
We await your orders!
You're there.
Volkmar the Grim!
And away we go. Move you up to here for now. I'm presuming the statue is of Sigmar. It's pretty badass. I don't know for a fact that this is Sigmar, but I'm just going to assume that it is. It's a big old hammer. What we're also going to want to do is get these guys a little bit nearer. We don't actually want them to start shooting at these guys, but we do want them a tad nearer so that when we do engage, we're ready. Like we don't have far to run.
Understood! Moving now! Finish up! Quick march!
Maybe a little bit further back so you're fully in the trees. Oh, let's speed this up a bit as well. Okay. It's kind of what I didn't want to happen, but never mind. Let's just get everyone further forward. It's not that big a deal.
Our steeds are restless! Behold the light of Sigmar! At speed! Moving now! Free company! For Scout Splitter! Finisher! Understood! For Sigmar! Get them! The ground waits!
Probably want to pull out of there.
Free company! Swordsman! Sigmar!
Alright, let's hit that buff.
My cavalry!
You guys hold tight.
Cavalry ready! Free company!
I need you guys over here
Moving!
fairly quickly.
Attack! Sigmar! For Heldenhammer! Formation, march! Free company! Take the ground! At speed! For the Warhammer! Militia!
This could get a bit ropey over here for our...
It shall be! Get them! Rah!
cheeky quick charge in there,
We
pull you
serve
out.
the Emperor! We obey! The Tattersouls!
A nice little rear charge in there.
Free company!
You come and fire on them from behind.
Generals, glory to the Empire! Free company! Take the ground!
Should head over there.
Our orders! To battle! For the Warhammer! For the twin-tailed comet!
Fire in there. They're getting nicely shot up.
Ready to serve! Attack! Battle ready!
These guys are getting pretty wrecked.
Free company! To battle!
Let's get you over here.
For Heldenhammer! Sigmar speaks through me!
Right, yeah, just finish them off. You keep firing in the back there.
Attack assault! Free company!
Our spearman over there broke, but it's not the end of the world.
We obey! Free company!
Stop firing in the back over there. They've broken. We can bring these guys over now.
We serve France!
I think this is almost it.
With haste! Finish up!
I'm getting shot in the back. We scared them off.
Faith is my shield!
Let's get in there.
Ready! Now!
Fire on them.
Send us out! Taking position!
Should see some big boy routing coming fairly soon.
For the Emperor!
Let's get you round here. Let's little rear charge in.
We serve the Emperor! Ready for battle!
That's all been destroyed. And there we go, just as we were about to charge in. Sweet. And we get a decisive victory instead of the probably Pyrrhic victory that we would have got had we auto-resolved. Oh, almost choked on my tea there. Sorry, I had to mute the mic very quickly. Whew.
Volkmar the
Alright,
Grim.
get rid of that crap. To be honest, you don't really need this either. I'm just going to remove it. Alright, now we pop 3 points into here so that we can get to Heretic Hunter and then Lightning Strike. Now that we're at Rubersreich, we can get rid of this here. And we'll also build the money building, the Weaving House, one of the best money buildings in the game. For, like, you know, your standard build money building. Pretty good. We'll also add in a field as well, and then we'll get that clay pot thing.
Chosen of Sigmar.
And that leaves us with one spot open, which we will need. Now we need Ubersreich to get up to level 2 very quickly, so we're going to upgrade it here, and that's because we can get the Red Moon in, which gives it walls at level 2, which is really nice, and adds a bunch of heroes to the garrison, which is pretty cool as well. So upgrade Ubersreich. And Altdorf, as I said, we'll stick the clay pit in for now. We'll upgrade that to level 2. And what we're going to do as well is we're just going to move to, let's say, about here.
Grand Theogenist.
And we're going to pop into ambush
I
mode.
will cast out all
So
evil.
what that's going to do. Next turn we will have enough movement to reach Isleheart, which is good. It also means if these guys get any fancy ideas like about attacking Ubersreich, they're going to come and get ambushed by us. Oh, okay, they didn't. Never mind.
I am Volkmar.
That's fine.
To battle.
They basically abandoned the settlement. Alright, we're going to manually fight this to try and limit our losses. Our casualties. Now, with them having quite a few, well, they've got 2 crossbowmen and I think 2 archers, so we all take some damage here.
By Ulrich's wrath! By Ulrich's wrath! Behold the light of Sigmar! The Empire endures! Free company!
As for you happy chappies.
Yes, my lord!
Volkmar the Grim! Sigmar's will!
Right, you guys go straight over there to start dealing with them, and hopefully you can catch these guys as they're trying to retreat backwards.
Take the ground! Formation, march! Formation, march! Militia, at speed! Go! Sigmar guides us! Go! By your command!
Grand Theogenist!
Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to get too many shots in, or if any, before they congregate together, which is a shame.
Formation! March! Moving now!
I'll try and scare them somewhat now. Keep coming forward.
No lingering! Ready!
Might even get a little cheeky charge. No,
Obey! Quickly!
that's fine.
No lingering!
We'll whittle our way through the forest.
Understood!
There we go. We're starting to get some shots in,
Company!
which is good.
Go!
For Sigmar! That's an order!
For the Warhammer! At speed! By Ulrich's wrath! Quick march! Taking position! Sigmar! Formation march! In the name of the twin-tailed comet! We serve Brand!
Let's go back this way now.
Take the ground! My comrades! Get them! For Heldenhammer! Formation, march! No lingering! It shall
Oh,
be!
that was pretty bad of me there, losing track of my microing.
Tailed comet! Taking position! Sigmar guides us!
It's very bad.
The Tattersall! Our steeds are restless! Swordsman! Get them!
We'll go after them.
Free company! Taking position! Taking position! Quick march! Whoa! Moving now! For the Warhammer! We obey!
Let's get you
Formation!
over here just so you can start shooting at them in the back.
Ground quakes! We serve the Emperor! Free company! At speed! Quick march!
Oh, wow.
High Priest!
Ready to serve!
They're in there.
Free company!
Fire on them.
Now! To battle! General! Very well! Ready!
Fire in the back on them.
twin-tailed comet.
We await your orders. Quick march!
Faith is my shield.
Awaiting command. Attack the souls!
Blammo. I was going to say they must be fairly near to mass routing.
No! For France!
We do kind of want to keep killing them though, because
We obey! Free company!
not all of these units are from the garrison. Some of them are from just outside the settlement, so it'd be nice to mess them up as much as possible.
Ah! At speed! We serve the Emperor! Free company! For the Warhammer! Flagellants!
Sigmar speaks through me.
For the Warhammer!
Sweet, and this guy is basically dead.
Missiles will fly! Swordsman! Yes, General!
It's like he can't get hit as there's too many people around him.
Behold the light of Sigmar.
Sigma
He's like somehow
guides
being
us.
shielded from getting wounded. Huss! Johann Huss! Okay, occupy that. It's annoying because they do still have a settlement left, this fort, so they don't have to do the oh crap, we're taking attrition, we've got to like steam in,
Sigmar grant
which
me
means I might
strength.
have to give them Isleheart back, just because I need to protect the other place. It's more important. Ubersreich. Oh, that's quite nice. Oh, and so's that as well. That's really nice. Oh, so's that. Loads of good stuff there. That's pretty good.
Sigmar be praised.
Research rate. Let's get some more speed and leadership into our infantry units. And for what it's worth, we'll stick that in for now. But as I said, it's kind of annoying because I do need to get back over here because there's going to be a Skull Smasher attack imminent. So I can't really waste my time dicking around with those guys. Hopefully they just sprint past me. Alright, do I risk it? Oh,
By the hell
money is power. In the Empire, political power is often connected to economic prosperity. There is perhaps no group or organisation that has a greater effect on the economic prosperity across state borders than the Merchants Guild. The rumours being that many of the electors themselves are on their payroll. Using your gravitas, it may be possible for you to arrange favours for the patrons of the Merchants Guild, such as loosened regulations or tax cuts, in addition to more personal furtherances in return for their help in advancing your political standing, all at a considerable cost, of course. So even if we did have 1,000 prestige to get +1 authority, I still would take the 200 prestige because, as I mentioned earlier, I really don't want to spend prestige unless I must, until I have at least 2,000 prestige in the bank. So we will just do, well, we've literally got no choice here, but do you see what I mean? Even if I did have the choice, I would still take the prestige.
never yield.
Now I'm going to take a calculated risk here.
Tremble before me. Moving out. Sigmar is with
Do
us.
this. Wipe them out.
Sigmar guides my steps.
Unworkable.
Yes,
And I'm going to sprint back up
Sigmar
here.
has heard my prayers.
I think we should be alright.
The instrument
I just
of
really don't want the
Sigmar's will.
skull smashers over there to annoy me. These guys come back here and duff up. What did we get? Trickster shard. Okay, I suppose. If these guys come back here, I mean, Isle Heart's
Not possible.
not in a good... maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But the point is, Ubersreich needs to be protected. That's the important part. Let's level up Grundberg. And we'll see what these guys do. The Skull Smashers are going to be here sooner or later. Okay, not entirely sure what they did or where they went, but okay. Yeah, next most important thing we need to build is the Red Moon Inn. Once we've got walls here, we can't leave the area, but at least we can... Oh wow, what happened there? Who are they at war with that weird thing would have happened? I don't know who they're at war with, because I apparently don't know them. Wonderful. It's not the Skull Smashers, is it? Because that would be pretty sweet. No, it's not. Okay, never mind.
Knowledge is power.
We could teleport over here and do this quest battle. Yeah, we could do that. Just thinking, should I though? Yeah, why not? We'll get that wizard early. I thought there was going to be a speech there, but no speech. Never mind.
Cavalry ready.
Okay. This fight is pretty easy peasy, especially when you've got 3 company.
For Heldenhammer. The Tattersouls.
So what we're going to do? Rush them.
We are Sigmar's heirs.
Actually, hold on. Let's rush with you. And keep you guys over here to deal with their lord, depending on which way he decides to go. And for those of you who've not done this fight before, this is the first army. You ambush these guys, and then once you've basically beaten them up, another little smaller force turns up over here. So we'll stick you over here. Right, so...
General! Sigmar! Take the ground! At speed! Immediately! Sigmar guides us! Budget! The Empire! Ready! Free company!
Right, they're all going to get wrecked pretty fast.
Send us out.
Free company! For the Warhammer!
Right, we can probably start moving these guys over, I reckon. In preparation for the second part of this fight. Yeah, here they are. You guys get a move on as well. Is their lord? Yeah, their lord's down. Well, not down, but you know what I mean. He's fleeing.
Free company!
Come on, chums.
Quick march!
Alright, you start firing on them.
Understood! Take the ground!
Unfortunately, our shieldless spearmen are at the mercy of the pistoliers, but you know, that's life, I suppose. We've got to stand there. At least we've scared them off somewhat. It'd be nice if our guys, you know, got a little bit of a move on. They are sprinting, they're not doing a good job of sprinting. Alright. Actually pulling you guys back, just because they're going to engage them before the rest of my army's there, and that's not what I want.
Militia! Free company! Yes, sir, quickly! We obey! Yes, sir, quickly! Free company! Spearmen!
So just keep pulling back into the forest. If they chase you, it's fine.
Taking position! Ready for war! By Ulrich's wrath! Armed and ready! For the twin-tailed comet!
Okay, let's get you over. Let's get you guys down this way.
Quick march! For the Warhammer! Spearmen! Free company! Go! Yes, my lord! To battle!
Alright, we've kind of got them surrounded at this stage.
Free company!
They're not in a good spot, they don't know which way to attack. Oh man, if I had like a spell here as well, that would be pretty cool.
At speed!
Offering battle prayers without delay.
Get Volkmar to lead them on a merry chase.
Free company! Swordsman! By Galmaraz! Legend! Understood! Attack!
Very well.
Militia! We serve the Emperor! For the Warhammer! To battle!
Pull out of there.
Swordsman!
Quickly
Just
now.
all fire on him.
War!
For Sigma.
Don't think that shield's going to help you too much, buddy. Just making sure there wasn't someone, like these guys, thinking that they might want to come back into the fight. They're gone. They're gone. And this fight is done. Wunderbar. Now, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it's a bright wizard. I mean, statistically, it's not a great chance that it will be a bright wizard, just because there's a lot of different options that it could be. But, you know, you can hope. We're pretty healed. Let's grab some extra cash.
Moving.
Okay.
Speak your
An amethyst wizard. It's not the worst, but it's not what I want. Okay, it's not a problem. Booteju. Oh, no, hold on. For one, I had caps lock on, so that just looks weird. And two, we've got to do this. Anything to give you? I suppose you don't. I don't know if these stack, truth be told. I really don't know if they stack. I wish there was a way to find that out. Okay, maybe that tells me. So that gives him 10, right? So 10. And he's got plus 24, so 4 and 6 equals 14. So it does stack. Okay. I was never sure if that stacked, and you just check there. So okay, brilliant. That's good. Pretty pleased about that. Heretic Hunter.
Of the Occult.
Booted you. Oh, hello.
Unachievable.
Not a big deal. They ain't gonna do much.
The righteous hammer of Sigmar.
We are gonna
Moving out.
drop there and go into ambush mode. Hopefully these guys think we should go and do something, and then they get smashed. Grundberg isn't quite at level 2 yet.
No.
But not to worry. I kind of feel like we can buff Isleheart at this stage. It's fine. Let's end turn. We're not going to use this wizard in the army. We're going to use it as a scout. Go and steal some tech and whatnot. Oh, there we go. I'm waiting for you, boys. Ooh. Norskins attack Elector State. Averland has come under the attack from Norsken. From Norska in the region of Grenstad, and appealing to your military assistance. Will you come to their defence and join them in battle, or leave them to fight off their attackers alone? Well, that's going to be a choice for the next episode. I'm going to stop this here. Good start. We've got Reikland under control, so to speak. We still need to quash the Empire secessionists, but we should do that pretty soon. And we're going to have our first fight against the Greenskins, the Skull Smashers in particular. If you enjoyed this first episode, you found it interesting, learned something, whatever, please do consider hitting that like. And if you didn't, hit dislike. Whatever. We'll see you tomorrow when we'll continue things. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.